What is going on, guys? It is Daniel Wright, and you are here listening to another episode of Paving the Way, and I thank you for that. Guys, I hope you had a fantastic weekend. I hope your week is off to a great start, and I hope your hump day is going well. So, as you can see, the background here is a little bit different. I'm in a different office in our office space here. We got just a few possible changes kind of coming up, so I'm using a different room for this week, and that's where I'm at. So, like I said, I hope you guys are doing good. I'm glad to have you here with me. And I hope you're enjoying all these episodes that I am working on putting out for you guys. Because at the end of the day, if I can help you guys grow and you guys develop and you guys get better, I will inherently, as a byproduct of that, get better myself. So it's what goes around comes around, right? That's what they say. So, guys, today I want to talk about 3 reasons to embrace technology. Anybody who knows me and has known me for any time is going to say, well, this should be interesting because Daniel has not been one to really like change or to grow with things here or there, whatever it may be. But on the flip side, I have always been one that likes the concept of working smarter, not harder. So technology, when used properly, can help accomplish those things, right? So the first reason I want to touch on is because it can help increase efficiency and productivity, right? And a lot of these things are going to be kind of geared more towards like as a small business owner. So whether it's in, our industry, like the paving industry or construction or trades or really just anything that you do as a business, it's going to kind of be more geared towards that. So if you're thinking embracing technology is going to help you get your grass cut faster, well, it might, but I'm not going to talk about that today. So increasing efficiency and productivity. When using different types of technology, you can more or less kind of streamline your processes to get things done, right? So whether it's onboarding, whether it's training, whether it is, setting up templates of things like that to get projects and jobs completed, you can streamline that process. Because if it's all in your head and you're having to explain it every single time, you're having to give the same instructions hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times to tons and tons of people, and you're hoping that you don't mess something up and forget about it. So if you use the technology to document those processes and can streamline it to the people needing to complete those processes, it helps just keep things more efficient and productive, right? When you're doing all that stuff using the technology for it, it also gives you a platform to communicate about it. So it enhances your ability to communicate about those things. Any changes that come up, it can be used to like widespread the information or distribute that change, right? So you're just keeping everything centralized and streamlined to make sure things are going as efficient and productive as possible. It also helps make sure that you don't miss the gaps. Like I said, that if you're having to just do it verbally or remember to send things out and update things, then you're relying on yourself and or someone else to not, encounter human error, which, let's be honest, is inevitable, right? So even using technology, it can sometimes, but it reduces that opportunity. So when you do all those things, when you have your processes and your systems, on a technology platform, when you're able to communicate everything like that on that same platform to where it goes out to the masses at one time, it will then also give you improved access to all that information. So instead of having to go back and scroll through a text message, of like, oh, where did he say that thing or wherever, where did they put that information that I needed, whatever it may be. If you have it all on a platform, like we use Basecamp, for example. So all of our stuff for a project that we complete in our company goes through Basecamp. From the time that a person calls us to the time it goes all the way through a project to sending the invoice, it is all in Basecamp. So we know that it's centralized access to the information for that project. So when it's in the sales, part of the project, all the salespeople can access it. When it goes into the operations part of it, all the operations people can access it. And then when it kind of gets closed out and goes to invoicing, everything administrative can access it. So it's all centralized into one location. The next reason that you should embrace technology as a small business owner is because it will enhance your customer experience, right? Everything that we're doing nowadays, if it's not at our fingertips, right? Like you are probably watching and or listening to this on more likely your phone, right? So it's on your Facebook feed, it's on your LinkedIn feed, it's on YouTube, it's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever it's at. More than likely you're watching it on your phone or on your computer, which is more than likely mobile. So If you're trying to communicate with your customers about things, having it all mobile, online, easy to access is going to make it easier for them. Because if they are only able to communicate with you via, maybe face to face, which is not a bad thing sometimes, but if that's how they have to get every update, well, that's just making it more difficult to try and get that for them. Then they have to remember it and then schedule the time to talk and everything. It's a pain in the ass, right? Let's be honest. So using the technology to have web-based ways to communicate with your clients is easier. Whether that is from the time that like we use a software called Calendly for site visit scheduling. So if we have to schedule a meeting, we use a software that we take their information, we plug it in there. It's already linked with all of our other schedules, so it shows us our openings, our time slots, things like that. Once we hit confirm schedule, it sends that client an email automatically to them that says, hey, this is a scheduled, like confirmed date for this person to come go to your property to review these things. So that way, instantly, they know exactly when to expect us. I'm not just telling them over the phone, hey, I'll be there on, Friday, July 13th or whatever it is, right? It's something that they get visually they can hold. And then more than likely, they can hit add to calendar. So it puts it in their schedule. So using that technology to communicate with them, plan, schedule, things like that, just makes their life a whole lot easier. And then if you're using technology for all of your, estimates and your invoicing, right? Like if somebody shows me a paper, like handwritten estimate, I'm going to have a lot of concerns about the abilities and capabilities of that company because you're doing work out of the Stone Ages. Like what else are you behind on? Nobody wants to have to remember where that piece of paper is that you wrote down your proposal or your invoice or things like that. If it's not electronic, if it's not on a technology-based platform that can be sent off as an email, a PDF, a DocuSign, whatever it may be, it's not going to be easy. So using the technology to communicate with your clients, information, passing things back and forth just makes things easier. Kind of like back to increased efficiency and productivity, it centralizes everything. So they just know they can go to one place and find it, whether it's their email inbox, a project management software that you're using, things like that, right? So keeping it seamless, centralized, and straight to the point for everybody just makes it easier for the client experience. And then the third thing that you can consider when you're using technology and reasons to embrace it is because it gives you a competitive advantage and growth opportunity. So at the end of the day, like I said earlier, most people are going to be looking for you and your services using their cell phone, right? Something that they're just going to pull up and search for XYZ service near me or XYZ contractor near me or whatever it may be. If you're not using technology to market, to be on Google, to be on, social media platforms, things like that, you're working in the Stone Ages. Yes. Will word of mouth always be the best way to gain new clients? Absolutely. Nothing beats a word of mouth recommendation. However, if they don't know anybody who's used your services, right? So like we're in parking lot services. The majority of people you encounter have never had to hire someone for parking lot services, right? So if they don't know anybody who has, they're going to search for you online. So if you're not having an online presence, if you're not using that technology to stay in front of people everywhere they might be looking, you are getting lost in the masses, right? Also, using technology to be able to scale and grow your company, that's a competitive advantage. So it kind of goes back to what we talked about number one, all your processes, your systems, things like that to be documented on a technology-based platform that can be duplicated, easily taught, passed along, centralized communication. It helps you be able to scale bigger and faster. So like that's currently something we're working on here at Proline is looking at opportunities to grow and scale our company to hit a wider reach. But we're making sure that all of our stuff on how we operate, our processes, our systems, everything like that is documented electronically so that when that time comes and we're going to scale somewhere else, we're going to grow somewhere else, we're going to onboard a new team member, whatever it may be, we can literally hand them access to it online so they can get anything they need on how to do what they need to do. So it just makes the whole process just go faster and it reduces your opportunity to forget things, right? It all kind of is looping back to the efficiency and the productivity. So, point number two about the enhanced customer service and point number 3 about competitive advantage and growth, those are all going back to increased efficiency and productivity. So when you're utilizing the technology to your advantage, you're going to constantly be finding new opportunities to grow and develop and to expand yourself. As somebody who doesn't like change, like I said earlier, it can be difficult. It can be challenging because, like, when you first get something brought to you, you're like, well, wait a minute, this over here is working perfectly fine, right? My legal pad that I write all my notes down is working perfectly fine. Well, then when you're driving down the dang road and your son opens the window and it blows right out the door, all those notes you just had are gone, right? When you onboard a new person and maybe you've had a stressful day and you just forget to tell them 3 important things they need to do, and then the next 2 days you're getting mad at them for not doing it, and they're like, well, you never told me. Well, now you just let them down because you could have just relied on technology to have a platform to onboard them, to train them, to make sure that everything's getting covered regardless of how we feel, right? Regardless of what's happening to us that day. So being able to take the human error out of things as much as possible is going to make things easier and better for more people. It's going to make it repeatable, scalable, duplicatable, whatever you want to call it. It's just going to make it easier to go bigger and go faster. So those are 3 reasons why I think that embracing technology is important. Increases efficiency and productivity. It enhances your customer experience, and it gives you a competitive advantage and growth opportunity over your competition. So, guys, I hope that was helpful for you today, a little bit insightful. Like I mentioned a few different softwares that we use in our company. If you want to have more information about that, I would be more than happy to talk with you about it. Like I said, the big ones that we use is Basecamp for project management. We use a program called Markate for estimates and invoices. Makes it super easy for the clients to get them. Calendly for meeting scheduling so that we can show all of our availability and get people plugged in wherever it fits best. And then that's really about it. That's our main programs that we use for technology to kind of run our company. So, guys, I encourage you to embrace it. It's not going to slow down. It's not going to wait for us. I mean, let's be honest. We've got AI stuff coming out and things like that I'm still learning about. I'm already behind the 8 ball, I feel like. So join the journey with me. Jump on board for technology. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Saturday. Have a